Well, it's going to be an all-out war in the 585 tonight at Blue Cross Arena. That's right. Your boys from Banditland Boulevard are back for another preview episode. I think this is week 9 of the regular season. The Bandits are 4-1, going off against their arch rivals in the Rochester Knighthawks, who are 5-0 on the season. One combined loss between the two teams, and that happened in week 1. That shows you how dominant these two teams are. Tony, I'm going to the game. I know you're going to the game. And I know about 500 other Bandit fans going to the game. It is going to be a sea of orange, and it's going to be glorious. How are you doing this fine afternoon on game day?
Well, I'm excited as punch right now because of the way that both teams have been so successful so far after 5 games of play. Obviously, Rochester, like you said, is 5-0, and the Bandits are 4-1. So this can determine to see if Rochester gets that 2-game lead, or we're all squared up at 5-1.
And not only would we be squared up if we win this game, but we would have the tiebreaker over Rochester claiming first place. So that would be huge if we get this win tonight. Obviously going to go over the key players to go over, but I'm just telling you right now, ever since I went to my first Bandits game in 2007 at the age of 6 years old, I have hated this Rochester team forever. And this is going to be my first game in Rochester. I've never actually experienced this, the Banditland outside of Banditland before, so it's going to be fun. I want to see the fields be mowed by the boys in the orange and black, and you guys know what that means for sure, because the number one player to look out for is that guy who we had last year, our old buddy, Connor Fields. 16 goals on the year in 5 games played.
Yeah, he's been red hot lately for Rochester. And again, the boys, the defense have got to slow him down. They also got to slow another former Bandit. They got to slow down Matt Gilray.
Who would have thought he would explode this year? Who would have thought?
That 1-2 punch with those two guys, I guarantee you guys, they're going to put up a good fight against the boys in orange and black. But again, we have to basically maintain what we've been doing every single year since 2019.
Yep.
You come out fast, you lock it down, and you shut down their star players. And again, that's what the Bandits have to do defensively. I'm sure Steve Priolo's going through with the guys, telling them, hey, here's what we got to do. Here's who we have to stop. We have to lock it down and let Matt Vince see every shot possible and then go from there. But again, guys, this game is going to be huge for both cities right now. Obviously, we already know, like you said, we are arch rivals with Rochester because they are the hour away. They're like our little brother. They don't want to go away. They want to annoy until you actually slap a little discipline on them.
Yep.
But again, they can put up a better fight and they can win the day. It could go either way. But again, if the Bandits have whatever they have done ever since game 1, when they lost the first game of the season, they let it go. They locked it out. They got it out of their mindset, mentality-wise. And here's what they did. 4 straight victories. Can we make it 5? That's the key that they're going to look into tonight's game. So for the Bandits to do what they do, don't change nothing unless something has gone wrong. And right now, nothing has gone wrong for the last 4 games. Yes, we've had a couple of nail-biters. One was against Georgia, 11-9. One was against Toronto, 11-8.
Right.
But then with the breakout scoring that we have, thanks to Josh Byrne and thanks to Dane Smith for finally being a playmaker instead of a goal scorer.
Brandon friggin' Robinson.
Robinson stepped up.
Yep.
There's other guys that are stepping up. And this is what Johnny T is trying to teach his boys to do. The star players are not going to always be there for you. So who wants to be the next hero? And that's one of them that has done that. And that Brandon Robinson is one of them. But again, still waiting on Chris Kluche to come back. We're still waiting on Chase Fraser to come back. Guys, we have a depth. That's what's dangerous about Buffalo. I don't know how their depth is with Rochester. If you lose one superstar, that could mentally break down and they could be like, we don't know what to do. Of course you know what to do. Players have to step up and be the next hero.
Right.
That's what the Robinson brothers have done.
And this is something that from Rochester that I haven't seen since around 2012. They have depth. They're not relying on one guy. They're not relying on that Cody Jamison. They're not relying on those other old Knighthawks players that came through the organization, like Pat McCready, who was amazing for us, amazing for them. Same with Mike Acursi. Now they have guys like Connor Fields, Holden Catoni, Tommy Hogarth, very, very familiar face, has 11 goals. Ryan Smith, Curtis Knight, and Matt Gilray. those are 6 players that are absolutely elite right now and elite this year.
Absolutely.
It still stings a little bit losing Hoagie in that trade, but you know what? You can't bring back everyone. But what I like going into this game is, or a big question that I have is the defensive outlook of the Bandits. As you remember, yesterday we saw a breaking news trade alert between the Bandits and I believe it was the Albany Firewolves.
That is correct.
Where we traded away one of our backup players, one of our depth players from the practice squad normally, Thomas Vason, in exchange for Adam Bomberry coming to the Bandits organization. So we'll see what happens if he's even in the lineup tonight. We'll see. We might be a scratch because he got traded literally yesterday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, big questions. And you brought up the question last week surrounding guys like Sweeting, Bryce Sweeting. He gets caught flat-footed. Do you think his lack of production at the start of this year led to a trade like that? We'll see. Will they move Sweeting to a transition type role and stick Adam Bomberry in the defensive spot? We'll see what happens, but I love the move there by Steve Dietrich. He's playing chess, not checkers. And if Adam Bomberry's in the lineup tonight, he'll be ready to go.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see what he can do, because obviously what they have done so far, and Albany's only 2-2, I believe, so far in the standings. I could be wrong, but correct me if I am. But
I believe
if
you're right.
Adam Bomberry comes to a different game style and a mindset for where maybe he can progress his game and defensively become a better defenseman for not only for himself, but for the team he represents, that could be a positive move that what we have done for the trade with Tommy Vason. Now, TV is going off to Albany, and he's going to do great things. And he's
probably going to be a starter. So it's good for him because he's probably going to be a full-time starter.
He could be. And like they said, they have a young team too. So he might be in that lineup and he might do great things with them. And God bless him. So we wish you nothing but the best of luck in Albany.
Absolutely.
But having Adam Bomberry, a well-known name in the Bandits organization, maybe we might see that 6 side-handed shot if Bomberry starts to shoot the damn ball.
The lethal lefty shot, from the freaking restraining line. We all remember that one. Yep.
That was sick because he would never tell. It would be like guessing. It sucks because the goaltenders would be like, we don't know where he's going to shoot. Corner, low foot, 5-hole, you name it.
Bounce shot, yep.
Anything, but we'll have to wait and see how he does. I mean, honestly, against us, he's played very tough. And we have, we welcome that now that we need a little bit more of that toughness on defense. Now, when you talked about Bryce Sweeting, is it dangerous or is this a red flag saying, hey, we're bringing more guys in, either you step your game or step out? I don't know if that's the case.
It could be a warning.
After it could be these last few games that he's played, could be a little dangerous. Maybe this might send him a message saying either step up your game or there's a door.
A wake-up call for sure. I think definitely
Absolutely.
Could be red flag. I think it might just be a little warning. Like, listen, we have to pick up the pieces of the depleted defense right now, or the only spot that is a little bit depleted. We can't let forwards catch you napping anymore. If we need to put you at transition, we'll put you there. Because Bryce Sweeting, he has shown before that he has toughness. He's very strong, and when he clears the ball on an outlet pass, that has potential of being a lethal shot. We've never really seen him shoot the ball. So if you move him to transition, we'll see what happens there. But we are both going to the game. We'll probably meet up sometime and go and cut a little video. Yeah, give our thoughts maybe around halftime or something like that, and post it to the channel, post it to the Spotify. And you know what? I know this from my first game. I think my first game I went to was in 2007. We lost to Rochester, and ever since then I never have liked the Knighthawks whatsoever. And I've been seeing on the Bandits Instagram page and Facebook page, a lot of these Rochester fans that we haven't seen since 2012 are crawling out of the woodwork. They're starting to talk a little bit more. They're starting to talk trash. There's this one guy even on Instagram who made a trash can with a Bandits logo on it as their profile picture because we're living rent-free so much up there. You better believe that before that first face-off, it's going to be let's go Bandits chance. There's going to be at least 50% of it's going to be Bandits Mafia. Every time they score a goal, you're going to hear the 1, 2, we want 3, or whatever number's next. You're going to hear all those chants. So if you're going to this game and you're a Rochester fan, it's going to be Leafs-Sabres type thing. It's going to be Yankee fans invading Fenway Park type of energy. It's going to be something brutal that you really have never really seen before. But now that we've given Rochester, and we've kind of been giving them a pat on the back and saying, you know what, they have all this depth, let's go over our boys real quick, and let's give them a little pick-me-up. How about this? Josh Byrne, who is absolutely going into this game scorching hot. White flame, blue flame, whatever you want to call it. He is scorching hot. 13 goals in his last 2 games in Banditland. And then that game in Georgia, I believe he scored, what, 5 in Georgia to win that game 18-9, maybe 5 or 6 goals. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's 13 goals in the last 2 games for Josh Byrne.
That's
Great
right.
numbers from him.
Absolutely.
Dane Smith, who's looking absolutely fantastic. And just the overall depth on this goaltending and the defense. Ian McKay shooting the ball more. And Matt Vince is locking it down in between the pipes every single night. And I mean, you're seeing guys like Nick Weiss getting scrappy. Brad McCauley dropping the mitts and shooting the ball a lot. Brandon Robinson, a big built guy, built like an enforcer, but shoots like an attackman, who's been on fire as well. Tony, what can we say about this offensive depth going into this game against Rochester? Because in my honest opinion, they need to focus on this game more than any other game that they've focused on this year, bar none.
I believe it to be true too as well. You better start picking corners and picking weaknesses on this goaltender. Again, I think if the Bandits are to win this game, full on an assault. It's like nonstop. I mean, don't give him a chance to breathe. Don't give this goaltender a chance to reset himself. You pepper him until he cannot stand. I mean, literally make him go, white flag. I'm done. I can't.
I surrender.
It's done. So that's what they have to do. They have to basically attack, get their rebounds, and then do it again. And then just keep staying in their zone. Make the defense stay there longer. Like the last few games, we've had moments where bounces didn't go our way. And every time we think we may have had a chance to break out, it always comes back and they keep shooting more and more. It's like it's getting our defensive tired and our goaltender a little bit weary. We have to do the same thing to Rochester tonight. We got to get in their heads quickly.
And also, I don't know if anybody really caught this last week, but Tehoka Nanticoke was shut down. He's going into this game with a new burst of energy. He wants to get back on that score sheet. He sees what city he's playing in. That's enough motivation to have the ability to explode on this team. Tehoka Nanticoke, look out for him to be a breakout player tonight. Brandon Robinson was also shut down last week. Didn't score a goal. But yet the Bandits still scored over 10. They scored 11. That just shows you how great this offensive depth is on this team. We're going to need a big game from the man out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the faceoff dot out of Max Adler. I mean, if you win faceoffs, the more faceoffs you win, naturally, the more offensive opportunities you get. Let's punch him in the mouth early and as early as possible. If you got to score 20 seconds in, do it. Let them say, hey, I see you're 5-0. We don't care. We're coming to get you.
That's right. You want to be at the top of the mountain. You have to beat the best at the moment. And right now, Rochester's proven they are because they are undefeated. They have no losses this year, and they are going to want to see who's going to be the next one to take them down. Will it be tonight? We'd like to think so, and we want to hope so. So we're going to go out there. We're going to play the best game, like you said. We're going to play the best game of the year. And, guys, if you have not witness a Rochester versus Buffalo match, tonight would be the night to be glued to your TV, or if you're going, watch every single play because it's going to be an all-out war.
Oh, it is. I mean, Blue Cross Arena, it used to be called the War Memorial. That name is so appropriate for this type of game tonight. You got the Bandits and the Knighthawks squaring off. Obviously, Adam Bomberry, who is now, they're saying that he's questionable to play tonight. He will wear the number 15, so he'll take over for Sean Evans' number and formerly Corey Small's number. A good buddy of the Bandits, great familiar face there. Questionable tonight. Also, you'll see that Carter McKenzie, some guys that you really have never really heard much of, but have really exploded on the scene. Guys like Ethan O'Connor, Carter McKenzie, Dalton Solver, Matt Spanger, Kellen LeClaire doing their thing. And obviously somebody who was actually, questionable to play last week, and that was Nathaniel Kozevnikov, who was questionable. He's also questionable this week. I know he was doing the thing around the elementary schools in Western New York to the thing where they go to the gym classes and stuff, and they teach them how to play lacrosse. He was there with Tehoka Nanticoke, and I believe it was Josh Byrne, I'm pretty sure was also there.
Could be possible.
But he is questionable to play tonight. Somebody who I cannot wait to see back on the stat sheet is Frankie Brown. He's still on the PUP list, physically unable to perform. Once he comes back and once Frazier comes back and Kluche comes back, it should be clear who the #1 team in the Eastern Conference is in the National Lacrosse League. Uh, but I went into this game thinking, like, they have all this pressure on them. You know what? Last year, it was so fun. That undefeated run was so fun. But there was
Mhm.
always that thought above our heads, when is this going to run out? Or there's no way we can repeat 1993 again. This thing has to go sometime. And then when we lost that first game, it was like, all right, like the pressure's off. We're going to just
Yeah,
focus on winning the championship now. The Rochester Knighthawks right now have all the pressure in the world surrounding them. And the
absolutely.
Bandits going in this game as underdogs, they're going into this thing with zero pressure whatsoever. They're going to feel as comfortable as possible going into this game, while Rochester has their undefeated streak to worry about. They have their number
First place
one
to worry about.
first place to worry about. And
Yep.
it's their right. They have the freaking Buffalo Bandits fans, Bandits Mafia, Bandit Land to worry about tonight, because we are going to be a problem in that
Yes, we
building
are.
tonight. They got 3 outlying factors that are going to be surrounding them the whole night, and they can say how many times they want, oh, we don't think about that stuff. We put it in the back of our mind. It's still there. The
It's
Bandits
still there.
naturally have no pressure going into this game whatsoever. They're just going to play their game, and that's it.
That's it. Yep. You can't really basically think about the fact that the Bandits are going to be like, well, we're facing the #1 team. We're going to be, we might as well put up some decent fight. No, that's not what they're thinking at all. What they're going is, like you said, they're going to be cool, calm, collective, because why? They got really nothing to lose.
And they know that they can beat
the
Rochester.
Rochester Knighthawks are the ones that are like, are we going to go 6-0? Are we going to worry about how good our record is, or are we going to lose out on first place?
How much
That
orange are we going to
mentality-
see in the stands? How much orange are we going to see in the stands? Yeah.
I'm thinking 1,200 fans at least.
Oh, a bunch.
At least.
But Rochester has,
1,200.
they have to worry about that. Everywhere they turn, they're going to see someone wearing an orange shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally going to happen. We're going to be loud. We're going to be bringing beach balls and doing our chants that we do in Banditland.
That would be something.
Counting up the score like we usually do. The BOX chants we saw on Facebook or Bandits Mafia that the BOX sign guys are going. The Great Dane,
Yes, they are.
The Great Dane gang is going to be there.
The Great Dane gang. That's awesome.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be loud as ever.
Guys, I hope you're all ready for this. This is going to be like the Super Bowl of all sports. If you're not there at Blue Cross at the 585, I'm sorry, but you're going to miss out on a whole lot of fun. But if you do watch it on TV, just stay glued to your TV set, because you're in for a wild ride tonight.
Exactly. No, I mean, it's going to be a great show. And it's just like, what, an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes out there if you're living in Buffalo.
That's it.
Buy tickets and go. Like, I think we're sitting up in section 200s, something like that.
Okay.
I said it doesn't really matter where we're sitting, because we're going to be sitting around Bandits fans, naturally going to be sitting around them. So it's, of course, you'll see the Army green and you'll see the black and you'll see the fans who, by the way, I did go to a Rochester Knighthawks game because a good friend of my mom's worked for the Halifax Thunderbirds as one of the trainers. So I went to a game in Rochester. I believe it was when we faced against Toronto last year at home, something like that. So I really wanted to go to that game, but I went to the Rochester game instead. The Rochester Nighthawk fans were cheering more about free giveaways than the actual play on the field. That shows you how much they really care. And Rochester Nighthawk fans can talk all the mess they want about 2009 or 2000, what years did they win it? 2010, 2011, 2012, 2014, something like that.
Yep.
Your big brothers are coming back to town. Let's just say that. And Connor Fields are not.
The family reunion that they don't want to see.
they don't want to see that big brother at the family reunion that they haven't seen in a while. And also, at least like the Bandits didn't lose their team to Halifax. Like at least we never relocated to a different city and then had to be brought in with an expansion team again. At least that never happened. We've been here since 1992. We've been in the auditorium and we've been in the HSBC, Marine Midland, Key Bank, First Niagara. We've been there all the time since 1997. We never lost our team. That shows you how much Bandits Mafia cares about the team.
Absolutely. The great city of Buffalo love their teams and love their sports. And I'm telling you guys, the sea of orange and black is heading your way to the 585.
Orange and black attack. And I don't know if they're ready for it. I think they know what they saw last December and last February when we played over there in Rochester. They knew how loud it was. I knew how loud it was watching on ESPN Plus and listening to the BOX chants. Absolutely insane. I want it to be a lot more because this game means a lot more than those two games did. And it's not like we saw the Rochester Knighthawks in the playoffs last year, but this game could be a preview of a potential Eastern Conference final series.
Could be. And you know what? I have to bring this out, the little statistic that we had about last year. Max Adler had his first career goal in Rochester. So
Yep.
What does that tell you? Maybe we might see another one from him.
He still has that 100% shooting percentage. He's only shot one shot on goal, and it was a goal.
Yep.
He still
and
got
that was during a penalty shot.
Yep. So, stranger things have happened. Former Bandits score on us, it seems like a lot, but it seems like former Nighthawks score against the Nighthawks a lot too. So, you know what? Doesn't even matter to me.
See Matt Vince scoring against his old team? That'd be sick.
Empty netter for Matt Vince would be the icing, the cherry on top of that ice cream sundae right there. That'd be absolutely insane. But I think we should get into our score predictions tonight because we're both going.
I like that.
I'm pretty fired up for this game. I'm going to be wearing the orange tuxedo T-shirt to this game with the Great Dane chains around my neck because you know how it is. You know how it's going to be. I'm going to say that the Bandits, while I am confident that they're going to win, I think it's going to be close the whole way through. It's going to be a nail-biting game. I'd say the Bandits win this one 13-11.
And who would the star player you think would be?
I think with 5 goals, Tehoka Nanticoke will score 5 goals.
Number one.
Yep, number one on the field, number one in your heart. Tehoka Nanticoke.
Oh, boy. Oh, well, after you saying that, now that changed my mind. I really thought, you know what? The Bandits were going to come out and just blow these guys away. I just don't see that happening. But, again, it's going to be a close battle. Might be a trap game, might not be.
It makes for a very entertaining game, though.
Yes, it will. So I'm going to say Bandits 15, Rochester 12.
Nice. 15-12, 13-11. We both got the Bandits going 5-1 and taking the number 1 spot in the Eastern Conference through Week 9. That would be huge. And then you better believe when Rochester comes back to Buffalo, it's going to be even louder. So if you don't like it tonight, it's not going to be much better when you come back to Buffalo and face against us in Banditland. So
that's it.
I think with that said, we're going to win this game, hopefully, and go 5-1, take the Eastern Conference. We're going to be loud, and we're going to be proud. We're going to be wearing our orange and black gear. And I think we might even have a shot at overtaking these Nighthawk fans. It might be 75-25 for all we know, because this game means so much in the standings.
But, hey, guys, just to let you all know, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel that we've had as well, because you guys can see us now. Yep. And also don't forget to listen in on Spotify.fm to
always leave a 5-star review if you like it, too.
Always leave your Buffalo Bandits review. So if you guys like what you hear, we'd love to have you on board. Guys, maybe next week, maybe post-game, we will have live fans come on and put their inputs as much as we are. So let us know.
Yep.
Comment below. Give us a notification bell whenever we're on. We want you to watch. So let's go Bandits.
And if you like it, listen to us on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. I think we're at 4.5 stars and we have like 15 reviews. That's pretty damn good. 4.5 out of 5 stars with 15 reviews. So I think with that said, let's go beat those Nighthawks tonight, Tony. We only got one more sentence to say. What would that sentence be?
Let's go Bandits.
Let's go.
Let's go.